Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Apocryphal Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Friday Apocryphal and podcast. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Today we are covering the Apocalypse of Abraham, chapters 17 through 25. And it's a rip-roaring show. It's an amazing show. This show is going to blow your minds and your hearts.
Well, I think that I agree with everything you said. And let's hope that this impresses us more than that heavenly scene with the people melting.
Yes,
I'd
isn't
like
it?
you
Last
to note
week?
something.
That was pretty cool.
Do you see how it says excellent connection?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the bit rate weird. I don't know why it was fluctuating. I figured out how to stop it though,
Yeah.
Okay.
for the most part.
I mean, it said that before.
Yes, it did. Anyways, I
It
have
said good before. And
I have
usually-
the Old
said all of
Testament
them.
Pseudepigrapha Volume 1 by James H. Charlesworth.
And I have nothing.
You have fuck all. Okay.
Trash. Absolute garbage show.
So we're about to read chapter 17, and it's a long one.
Yeah, these are a bit longer, yes. These upcoming chapters.
But most of chapter 17 is a song.
Yeah.
Not a psalm,
A song.
a song.
And
Same thing.
also, yeah, we would have been here 1 hour earlier, but Ruben had a thing he had to do, so blame Ruben.
I mean, blame Lawrence for setting it an hour earlier normally.
Yeah, that was me being dumb. I should have remembered.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Yeah, I'm an idiot, guys.
Yep. Anyways, I'll hap into chapter 17. No. Anything you want to say about this before we start?
No, not specifically.
Okay. Well, then without further ado, chapter 17. And while he was still speaking, behold!
Behold!
behold,
Starting
very
off with a
early.
behold, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
The fire coming towards us round about, and a voice was in the fire like a voice of many waters, like the voice of the sea in its uproar. And the angel knelt down with me and worshipped, and I wanted to fall face down on the earth, and the place of highness on which we were standing now stopped on high, now rolled down low. And he said, only worship Abraham and recite the song which I taught you. I don't recall him teaching him a song.
Well,
But-
this is going to be it, I assume.
Yeah, we got a song being taught to Abraham off screen. Since there was no ground to which I could fall prostrate, I only bowed down. And I recited the song which he had taught me. And he said, recite without ceasing. And I recited, and he himself recited the song. Are you ready for this song?
Yeah, I am ready. Let's hear those jams. Want to put on some music, Chris? That was it. That was the
Yep.
song.
Eternal One, Mighty One, Holy El, God, Autocrat, Self-originate, incorruptible, immaculate, unbegotten, spotless, immortal, self-perfected, self-devised, without mother, without father, ungenerated, exalted, fiery, just, lover of men, benevolent, compassionate, bountiful, jealous over me, patient one, most merciful, Eli, eternal, mighty one, holy, Sabaoth, most glorious, Eaol. You are he my soul has loved, my protector, eternal, fiery, shining, light-giving, thunder-voiced, lightning-visioned, many-eyed, receiving the petitions of those who honor you, and turning away from the petitions of those who restrain you by the restraint of their provocations, redeemer of those who dwell in the midst of the wicked ones, of those who are dispersed among the just of the world, in the corruptible age, showing forth the age of the just. You make the light shine before the morning, light upon your creation from your face to spend the day on earth, and in your heavenly dwelling place there is an inexhaustible light of an invincible dawning from the light of your face. Accept my prayer and delight in it, and accept also the sacrifice which you yourself made to yourself through me as I searched for you. Receive me favorably, teach me, show me, and make known to your servant what you have promised me.
The sacrifice that he made to himself, but through Abraham.
As he searched for him.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I
guess
liked it when it said L.
you had a very nice rendition of Thunder voiced.
Mm.
So a lot of epithets for God, a lot of some names of God that we've seen, and I feel like at the end he was just kind of stretching identifications.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
Yeah,
they mentioned Eli,
or is that supposed to be another form of L? Maybe.
A, B, C, and K all distort where it says Eli to add in that is my God.
Okay.
So
it's I'm guessing another.
Yes, L is Eli.
Okay, another name for God, I suppose.
Yes, and God is a lover of men.
Aren't we all?
Well, I know for sure that God is.
Obviously, yeah, we were just told.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes guys.
Yeah, he loves guys.
Nothing weird about that.
No,
But he hates a lot of things.
he does.
He's a hater.
It's nice to know he likes some things,
Yes.
whatever they may be.
Anyways, that was chapter 17.
He said it was long.
It was. It was much longer than the chapter that was 3 sentences before it.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
And also, because the text said that he had to read it without ceasing.
Recite it.
Sorry.
He had to memorize that shit.
Right, and he couldn't stop reciting it, though.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that's why he said L. Maybe he was stuttering.
Or he forgot how the rest of it went.
Yeah. And then, so he says L, E-O-L, and E-O-L is the angel.
Yeah.
So maybe he was like L, E-O-L. What's my line? What do I say? I don't remember.
Like those angel texts, they know what I say at all points. It's written there.
Mm.
So just ask the angels, what am I supposed to say? What's my line?
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. Well, I don't have much to say about this. Basically, he's seeing God.
As itself.
So he's singing.
Yeah, he's singing to God.
Yep. Chapter 18. And as I was still reciting the song, the mouth of the fire which was on the firmament was rising up on high, and I heard a voice like the roaring of the sea, and it did not cease from the plenitude of the fire. And as the fire rose up, soaring to the highest point, I saw under the fire a throne of fire, and the many-eyed ones round about reciting the song. Under the throne, 4 fiery living creatures singing.
Yeah, so those would be the what are they called? The type of angel.
The cherubim?
Well, yeah, cherubim, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about those many-eyed ones?
Yeah, they just said.
Oh, not the wheels, though.
No, they didn't mention the wheels.
They don't
They
mention
just
the
said
wheels.
they
The
have
many eyes, yeah.
many eyes.
Because the wheels had like a bunch of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I ask. I don't think it was them, though.
Well, it refers to them as many-eyed ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Roundabout.
Then that's them.
Yeah.
And plus which when we were talking about Ezekiel, we figured that was just a heavenly ark, right?
Yeah.
Or celestial ark of the covenant, I guess.
The corresponding ark.
Yeah, and those creatures would pop up again in Revelation as well.
Oh. Well, we're about to get further description. Some angelology is about to happen here.
Great.
And the appearance of each of them was the same, each having 4 faces. And this was the aspect of their faces, of a lion, of a man, of an ox, and of an eagle.
Or were these the seraphim?
No, the seraphim have 6 wings.
Okay. I get those confused.
Well, hold on. Each one had 4 heads on its body, so that the 4 living creatures had 16 faces.
Wow.
And each one had 6 wings. 2 on the shoulders, 2 halfway down, and 2 at the loins. Well, so normally that would be the seraphim, but he's just been describing the cherubim. So
yeah, it was this weird fused thing together. Do you remember that there were 6 cherubim in a line, or 4 cherubim in a line, and they were all always in the same line, and they were the same thing?
No, you're thinking of the Ezekiel.
Yes,
one.
I know, but it's still they had 16 faces there. That's where we're getting that.
I don't think they had 16 faces there.
Most of this, they did because they're 4-faced. I think
right,
most of this is a reference to Ezekiel.
Sure.
As it'll go on here. With the wings which were on their shoulders, they covered their faces. With the wings at their loins, they clothed their feet. And they would stretch the 2 middle wings out and fly erect. And when they finished singing, they would look at one another and threaten one another. You remember that we had detail about the cherubim infighting.
Yes. There we go. This is what we were talking about last week, right? I think it was last week.
Yeah, it was last week.
So here it is. Maybe we'll hear more about this infighting.
Nope, this is it.
And it came to pass, when the angel who was with me saw that they were threatening each other, he left me and went running to them. And he turned the face of each living creature from the face which was opposite it, so that they could not see each other's faces, threatening each other. And he taught them the song of peace, which the Eternal One has in himself. And while I was still standing and watching, I saw behind the living creatures a chariot with fiery wheels. Each wheel was full of eyes round about, and above the wheels was the throne which I had seen, and it was covered with fire, and the fire encircled it round about, and an indescribable light surrounded the fiery crowd. And I heard the voice of their sanctification like the voice of a single man. And that's the end of chapter 18.
So this one differs from Ezekiel in that the Ezekiel one wasn't described as a chariot, was it? I don't think it was.
No, there was a platform with a throne on top of it.
Yeah, and with the with those
the wheels were still on the sides.
Yeah, the wheels were on the corners, right? And there were 4 of them, but they all had eyes around them.
If you thought about it that way, but
that'd be a weird. Yeah, that would be a weird chariot.
It's a weird
closer
thing.
to a skateboard.
Yeah. So
check out the Divine Skateboard I got. This is dope as hell. I mean, these are all living components to it. It's weird.
That's a pretty expensive skateboard.
These eyeballs are really angry, but you can ride on top of them like wheels.
Yeah. So this song of peace is apparently in God.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's made of songs of peace.
And apparently, Yahuel knows it.
Yeah, he knows it.
Yeah,
and he taught it to the cherubim.
Maybe it's just a way of saying that, it's God's nature or something.
Mm-hmm. Chapter 19. And a voice came to me out of the midst of the fire, saying, "Abraham, Abraham." And I said,
"Here I am."
Yes.
Hey, Abraham.
I got it, guys.
I gotta make a shirt about this now, I swear.
And he said, "Look at the expanses which are under the firmament, to which you have now been directed, and see that on no single expanse is there any other but the one whom you have searched for, or who has loved you." And while he was still speaking, behold!
Behold!
The expanses under me, the heavens, opened, and I saw on the 7th firmament upon which I stood a fire spread out, and a light and dew, and a multitude of angels, and a host of the invisible glory, and up above the living creatures I had seen. I saw no one else there, and I looked from on high, where I was standing, downward to the 6th firmament. And I saw there a multitude of spiritual angels incorporeal, carrying out the orders of the fiery angels who were on the 8th firmament, as I was standing on its elevation. And lo, neither on this firmament was there in any shape any other host, but only the spiritual angels. And the host I saw on the 7th firmament commanded the 6th firmament, and it removed itself. I saw there on the 5th firmament hosts of stars, and the orders they were commanded to carry out, and the elements of earth obeying them. So this sounds a lot like 2nd Enoch.
It certainly does, yeah.
Yeah, except instead of going from bottom up, we're looking top down.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, shout out to Enoch.
Yeah. Also, I find it noteworthy that so here the firmament, the final firmament, is beyond the stars, right? And heaven, like heaven, right? The 8th heaven and 7th heaven, right? They're above that firmament, which is above the stars, right? So when they talk about the firmament in general, if they're following the Apocalypse of Abraham, generally, then they would say that the firmament is not just what encloses Earth, right? But it also encloses space as a whole. So all the stars, all the planetary bodies would be in there.
Yeah, they would have been in there. So, their view of the universe isn't quite as vast as ours, right?
Right. But they definitely...
These could be infinite realms within their own realms, really. That's the way I felt they were described in some ways.
They could be, but one of them has the stars.
Right.
Right. And being as it has the stars in it, then I'm guessing that the cosmology would be that, like, God is outside of the universe as a whole.
I almost feel like this is a level of planar cosmology because they didn't know about outer space. Let's just be honest here.
Right.
So when we leave Earth, maybe that's another realm to them.
Well, yeah, they see like the further up you go.
We're in outer space now, and we know that. Like we're still in outer space, even if we're on Earth. That's fine. So we have a very different perspective.
We are still in space. And yeah, the way it was described in 2nd Enoch was that God was on the 10th one.
Yeah, or was it 10th? I thought he was on the 8th.
He was on the 10th.
He was on the 10th.
Yep. These zodiac things were on the 8th and the 10th. Or the 8th and 9th.
Luckily, I have 2nd Enoch
right
here.
there.
Yeah. Do you remember the chapters? I think it was earlier on, right?
Yeah, because, well, actually, the Melchizedek stuff isn't in here.
Right. It's not in that one. But yeah, going through all the different layers of heaven, I think that was earlier on.
Or isn't Melchizedek? It was Melchizedek, right?
Yeah, Melchizedek was the the last section that was only really in one of the versions.
Mm-hmm. So,
we probably have.
Yeah, he has this section where he talks to his children afterwards, and
I think it's actually early on.
It's not that early on. I'm already back to chapter 30.
Yeah. And are you seeing where he's describing and this was the 7th heaven? Because I remember that's how the section started off.
The 9th and 10th were so brief too that it would be.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Catch it.
I'm pretty confident that on the 10th one was God's throne.
Yes, I remember that. But God was also on the 7th.
God is in the 10th
places.
heaven,
Mm-hmm.
and in 2nd Enoch, the 8th heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the 7th heaven is where the very great light and the fiery troops of archangels are. So, in the Apocalypse of Abraham, he does mention this fiery troop of angels prior to seeing God.
Yeah.
But in the Apocalypse of Abraham,
None of that.
The top one is the 8th one, right? And the 8th one here. Okay, they mention the 7th one, then the cherubim and seraphim.
So
yeah, the cherubim and seraphim are on the 8th heaven. And then there's no. The cherubim and seraphim are on the 7th heaven in 2nd Enoch. In the 8th heaven, there's the constellations.
Okay.
And on the 9th heaven are the homes of the constellations.
Yeah, see, it's like the houses of the constellations.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so I think the cosmology would line up with 2nd Enoch then.
Well, not exactly. There's different numbers of heavens here. Right?
Well, we weren't told about the other ones, but like, are we going to assume that the author meant to say that's the top one?
Around the 8th firmament, as I was standing at elevation, and lo, neither on this firmament was there any shape, any other host, but only spiritual angels.
Yeah, so we're not told about like the 9th and the 10th.
No. The stars are on the 5th firmament in the Apocalypse of Abraham. So the angels and shit are above the stars and constellations, whereas in 2nd Enoch, the stars are above the angels and the stars' houses.
Yeah.
And then above that is God. Which is strange because the 7th heaven in 2nd Enoch is where the cherubim and the throne are, which means that there's this cherubim and this throne.
The throne was on the 10th.
No, it's on the 7th.
What's on the 10th?
The 10th is just God.
It's just God?
Just God, yeah, the throne's lower, I guess.
So I guess the planets and stars and shit are between God and his throne in 2nd Enoch, whereas that doesn't occur here, like, at all. They put the stars way below any of these guys because this is at the 8th heaven, and then there's all these angels and shit in the 7th and the 6th, and on the 5th is the stars.
All right, then.
Yeah. Well, that's chapter 19. I saw there a multitude of spiritual angels, incorporeal, carrying out the orders of the fiery angels who were on the 8th firmament, as I was standing on its elevation. And lo, neither on this firmament was there in any shape any other host, but only the spiritual angels. And the host I saw on the 7th firmament commanded the 6th firmament, and it removed itself. I saw there on the 5th firmament hosts of stars, and the orders they were commanded to carry out, and the elements of earth obeying them. So, yeah, that's chapter 19.
Okay.
And
yeah, I can take it over.
I'll hand it over to you. You can hand it back to me at chapter 25.
Okay.
I'm going to jump into the rest.
Oh, are you?
Well,
are you?
Yeah, I am.
All right.
I'll watch you jump. Let's see you jump.
Is he going to... He jumped.
Whoa.
He jumped. There you go. All right, so chapter 20, I suppose. And the eternal mighty one said to me, Abraham, Abraham. And I said, that's you, Chris. What did he say?
Here I am.
He did say, here I am. And he said, look from on high at the stars which are beneath you and count them for me and tell me their number. And I said, when can I? For I am a man. And he said to me, as the number of stars and their power, so shall I place for your seed the nations and men, set apart for me in my lot with Azazel. Oh, so, okay, right. Oh, this is interesting.
Remember that?
No, Azazel's lot is the evil men, right? So it looks, I'm just checking the the note here. So it says possibly the lot belonging to me and Azazel. S is slightly corrupt, and the others may represent some sort of modification of the original text. So what I'm getting from that verse actually is that there was a portion that was given to God and Azazel, and maybe other beings as well. And then they were split up because Azazel has his own lot. But the way it's phrased has it as like a shared lot. Yeah, so
did I miss a mention of Azazel?
You did.
What does it say?
As the number of stars and their power, so shall I place for your seed the nations and men set apart for me in my lot with Azazel. Or maybe they're talking about the people.
They mean on earth.
Right. But like, because I was thinking initially when I read it that there was a portion that was given to both God and Azazel and maybe some other beings, and then that lot was split between God and Azazel. But now that I'm reading it again, it could be that Yahweh's lot is going to be placed with Azazel's lot on earth.
I think they're just referring to the descendants of Abraham being on earth, and Azazel is on earth. Like, your descendants are as the stars in heaven, which was the promise that he made to Abraham in Genesis, right?
Yeah, I guess. I guess it could just be that. Yeah.
They're not going to be in the heavens, right?
They're not, no.
But they'll be on earth, and Azazel was cast to earth, sentenced to be there, really.
Yeah, well,
what they said before.
They said that he chose it that way or something. And I said, Eternal and Mighty One, let your servant speak before you, and let your fury not rage against your chosen one. Behold! Before you led me up, Azazel insulted me. Oh, yeah, they're talking about right before he goes up, yeah.
Yeah.
How then, since he is now not before you, did you establish yourself with them? And now we're on to chapter 21.
Whoa! If you're enjoying the stream so far, give us a like, share, subscribe, comment.
All that stuff helps
Donate.
out. It helps out with the
Buy
YouTube
things.
algorithm. Not the buying things
Buy
necessarily,
our t-shirts.
but the liking and commenting absolutely helps.
Wearing our t-shirts in public helps with the real life algorithm.
Yeah, the real life algorithm. So yeah, he's asking God, like, how are you associated with him? And he said to me, look now beneath your feet at the firmament and understand the creation that was depicted of old on this expanse, and the creatures which are in it, and the age prepared after it. And I looked beneath the firmament at my feet, and I saw the likeness of heaven and the things that were therein. So this would probably be Eden, right? Or maybe he's...
I think we're back.
Now I think we're back.
Yeah. So that was a weird stutter.
Yeah. Don't really know what was up with that.
Apparently we have an excellent connection.
Well, now we do.
It's at a weird mark, too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, OBS decided to fuck off for a little bit.
Well...
All right. Anyways. So he's looking.
What's the exact wording that he uses there?
Look now beneath your feet at the firmament and understand the creation that was depicted of old on this expanse.
So that means everything. Everything that God created, period.
Yeah, but since it's of old, I would guess that it's like the earliest stuff.
Yeah, so he's showing him a vision of like the creation, I guess, on the seventh day, right?
Perhaps, yeah. And the creatures which are in it, it would have to be later on, right? And the age prepared after it.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked beneath the firmament.
So he also shows him like time after creation.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, he shows him everything that happens up until this point, which is pretty common in these stories.
It is, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and I looked beneath the firmament at my feet, and I saw the likeness of heaven and the things that were therein. And I saw there the earth and its fruit and its moving things and its things that had souls and its host of men and the impiety of their souls and their justification and their pursuit of their works and the abyss and its torments.
Okay, so he sees everything.
He sees everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, first he's looking at creation, and then he's
Yes.
looking at all the evil men that followed.
Yeah, because he gets to see all of the evil that they do. Right?
Yeah.
But not only that, he gets to see into their souls, right?
Well, I guess in a way, he knows that they have souls,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, he's looking at the impiety of their souls. And its lower depths and the perdition in it. And I saw there the sea and its islands, and its cattle and its fish, and Leviathan and his realm, and his bed and his layers.
So we now have confirmation that in the Apocalypse of Abraham, the abyss is not the sea. Because they
I
name
always
them
thought
separately.
they were separate.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, no other better word to describe it. The abyss. It would have been the abyss before the creation of.
Yeah, the depths.
Yeah.
The deep.
Gotta love the deep. And the world which lay upon him, and his motions, and the destruction he caused the world. I saw there the rivers, and their upper reaches, and their circles. And I saw there the Garden of Eden and its fruits, and the source and the river flowing from it, and its trees and their flowering, making fruits. And I saw men doing justice in it, their food and their rest.
So there's men in the Garden of Eden.
Multiple, that is
Multiple.
plural,
Yes.
in the Garden of Eden,
They
doing
get to
stuff.
have sex with justice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doing it.
That
Doing justice.
that blind lady
Uh,
with the scale.
yeah.
and it doesn't look like there is a note on this.
Right. So
Yeah, there's not.
um
But multiple.
There are multiple people, right? So we know from Second Enoch that at least one person who was brought into the Garden of Eden.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that in Third Enoch, which we haven't covered yet, but I'm pretty sure that when Enoch formally becomes Metatron, he goes into the Garden of Eden and like records things forever.
Oh shit! Sucks for him.
So maybe these people in the Garden of Eden are just like super righteous chosen ones.
Yeah, I guess
It's
maybe.
like Valhalla.
Yeah, like Valhalla.
Yeah.
And I saw the Garden of Eden. Multiple people doing good stuff there. And I saw there a great crowd of men and women and children.
A great crowd. Okay.
All
so
right.
it's not just a handful of chosen ones.
Now let's see. Half of them on the right side of the portrayal, and half of them on the left side of the portrayal. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, if you see a great crowd, yes, you would
And
see
half
on-
of them were in this direction and half of them were in this direction from a center point in the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
None of them were exactly in the middle. Of course.
That would just throw off the poetry. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would throw off how incredible this vision is for some reason.
It's just too incredible. It's incredulous.
Yeah. Anyways, chapter 22.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Eternal Mighty One, what is this picture of creation? And he said to me, This is my will with regard to what is in the light. And it was good before my face. And then afterward I gave them a command by my word, and they came into existence. Whatever I had decreed was to exist had already been outlined in this, and all the previously created things you have seen stood before me.
So this is like God's imagination.
I guess.
Yeah.
This is what God wishes for.
Yeah, that's what God intended to create.
So he fucked it
not
up.
only that, but when God creates light, he says that it's good. So here it expands on that a little bit, because in the light he sees this creation that he's going to create, right? So when he says that it's good, he's referring to all of the things that are contained within the light, which is the entirety of creation as he originally willed it.
Yeah, and his hopes for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, sovereign, mighty, and eternal, why are the people in this picture on this side and on that?" Fuck, does he not know how pictures works? I feel like that's easy. I feel like that's a question he shouldn't ask, but maybe there's like some super special reason.
Maybe it's like a depiction where there really is no one in the middle, and
maybe, yeah. And he said to me, "These who are on the left side are a multitude of tribes who existed previously, and after you, some who have been prepared for judgment and order, others for revenge and perdition at the end of the age." So at the end of time, those are the people that are set for judgment, basically. Those on the right side of the picture are the people set apart for me of the people. Wait, hold on. Those on the right side of the picture are the people set apart for me of the people with Azazel. These are the ones I have prepared to be born of you and to be called my people. So the people who will be saved.
Of Azazel.
No, they're the people of the people with Azazel. No, so they're
with Azazel. So on the earth.
Yeah. On the earth, you have the good people with the bad people. The ones on the right are the good people that are going to be saved from Azazel.
Yeah, and the ones...
Those are his people. Those are the Jews.
On the left are the ones who were there prior to Azazel being there.
I suppose, or maybe it's just all the slew of other tribes that he's just going to base on how good they are.
I guess.
Anyways, chapter 23. Look again at the picture. Who is the one who seduced Eve, and what is the fruit of the tree? And you will know what will be and how much will be for your seed in the last days.
Oh, here's the picture. There's people on one side.
There are people on one side,
the
people
other
on the other.
side. And it's a garden.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, picture.
There you go.
So I'm gonna check the notes here on some of this stuff.
A lot of it's just like, this appears in this manuscript. This doesn't appear in this manuscript.
Yeah, that's pretty much that. So it says that for tree, it is sometimes in some manuscripts it has of the womb. So, and what is the fruit of the womb instead of the fruit of the tree? So, and you will know what will be and how much will be for your seed in the last days. And what you cannot understand, I will make known to you, because you have been pleasing before my face, and I will tell you what I have kept in my heart. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to stay in his good graces then if he wants to get all those
he better.
juicy secrets. And I looked at the picture, and my eyes ran to the side of the Garden of Eden. And I saw there a man, very great in height and terrible in breadth. Of course, breadth there being spelled with a D.
Okay.
Breadth.
Okay.
Incomparable in aspect. And they were standing under a tree of Eden. And the fruit of the tree was like the appearance of a bunch of grapes of the vine.
Okay. Here we go. This is the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right?
Looked like grapes.
So it looks like grapes. What grows on a tree and looks like grapes?
An apple?
No,
Drink?
No,
I saw it in an ad once.
it looks like a thing on a vine. So, what grows on trees and looks
like grapes.
like grapes?
And it has to be vines.
The jabuticaba, also known as the Brazilian grape tree.
Okay, well that does look pretty cool, but I highly doubt
This
that.
is what it looks like.
Yeah, it does look pretty
So-
cool. I don't know if you want to.
You probably can't see it very well.
Oh, green screen is killing it.
Oh, no.
Green screen's killing it. Well, basically, it looks like bunches of round things growing right on the bark of a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It grows in Brazil,
right.
Argentina, Chile, and Peru.
But so I don't think they're talking about that tree then.
Which is where the Bible takes place.
They-
These
They,
locations.
they
you know.
definitely would have not known about that stuff.
There are other trees.
Plum?
So, in the Caribbean, in Puerto Rico, there are these things that sea grapes.
Sea grapes.
Yeah,
Like sea grapes. but sea
Cocoloba
grapes.
uvifera. They're edible. They're mostly pit and not much fruit.
Yeah.
Makes good jelly or wine.
All right. So I mean, I think we have a visual,
Yeah.
but I don't think they would have been talking about that
Well,
kind of tree.
probably not, given that they're in the Caribbean. But like it's got to be a kind of fruit like that. The fruit of the knowledge of good and evil is in Brazil or the Caribbean.
And it looks like that tree. It's not that tree, but it looks like that tree.
Yeah.
Um.
So either because on that variant in the Caribbean, they're like bunches that grow down like and hang off the tree. But the Brazilian one is bunches that grow on the bark of the tree.
Yeah, that one looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
And behind the tree was standing something like a dragon in form,
Here's the serpent.
but having hands and feet like a man's. On his back, 6 wings on the right and 6 on the left.
So here's Trogdor.
He was a man. I mean, he was a dragon man, or maybe he was just a dragon. He's Trogdor, guys.
He has 12 wings.
Yeah, he's got 12 wings. And he's a dragon looking thing. But he also,
Has man hands and feet.
yeah.
This is Trogdor.
And he was holding the grapes of the tree and feeding them to the 2 I saw entwined with each other. That sounds like they're fucking. And I said, who are these 2 entwined with each other? Hold on. Who are these 2 entwined with each other? Or who is between them? Between them? That's not how it was described.
I think the idea is that they're like holding hands and the serpent is between them in the image.
I guess. Yeah. Would make sense. Yeah, who is between them, and what is the fruit which they are eating, mighty one, eternal? I like how he doesn't ask about the dragon. I know that he already knows it's Azazel,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I'd still ask about the dragon.
I would ask about the dragon.
Yeah.
I'm asking about the dragon.
Well, he is asking about the dragon. He's asking about
yeah,
the-
who is the one in the between
Yeah.
them? Yeah. But yeah, unfazed by the dragon comment, or by if he noted that it looks like a dragon, he's unfazed by it.
Yeah.
And he said, "This is the world of men. This is Adam, and this is their thought on earth. This is Eve." So human thought is evil.
damn thinkers.
I hate thinking.
Thinking's too hard. Just do what God says.
Thank you. God, hate human thought. And he who is okay, hold on.
Don't even think about it. Just read.
And okay, you're right. And he who is between them is the impiety of their behavior unto perdition, Azazel himself.
So here, the serpent in the Garden of Eden is Azazel. Confirmed.
Yes.
Also, snakes had a bunch of wings and some human arms and stuff, and legs. That's
No,
terrifying.
not snakes.
Serpents.
Serpents.
Yeah.
Totally different.
I've looked into it. Snakes are types of serpents.
Yes, they are.
There you go.
They're
Done.
type of serpent.
Okay,
Which means
fine.
there are other
Whatever.
non-snakes.
Yeah.
Stop thinking about it.
There's solid snakes. There's liquid snakes.
There's also Snake, the game you play on a phone.
Yeah. There's Snake, the thing that you can put down a drain.
Yeah. See, you're really not thinking
There's
outside
that
the
ladders
box.
game with snakes in it,
Yeah.
where they're more like slides.
Well, that's
Shoots and ladders.
snakes and ladders.
Snakes and ladders.
Snakes and ladders.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, but somehow for kids.
With
I don't know
snakes.
why you need to get rid of shoots. Shoots are apparently controversial.
Okay. And I said, Eternal Mighty One, why then did you adjudge him such dominion that through his works he could ruin humankind on earth? And he said to me, Hear, Abraham, those who desire evil and all whom I have hated as they commit them, over them did I give him dominion, and he was to be beloved of them. And I answered and said, Eternal Mighty One, why did it please you to bring it about that evil should be desired in the heart of man, because you are angered at what was chosen by you, him who does useless things in your light? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah. Hopefully we get a real answer and not a question dodge like we've gotten before.
Well, that's a great question. Now, let me tell you how great that question is for 20 minutes.
Oh, hold on.
forgot.
That sounds like Abraham, a human, thinking.
Oh,
And that is just
Oh.
awful.
You're right. He is going to get scolded for thinking. Is that what's going to happen?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. So now into chapter 24.
Yep.
And he said to me thus, Close to the nations, for your sake and for the sake of those set apart after you, the people of your tribe, as you will see in the picture, what is burdened on them. And I will explain to you what will be and everything that will be in the last days. So there are...
So he
some notes.
dodges the question.
He did dodge the question. So there are some notes here on... It says close to the nations, and then it has
Or
like...
close to the nation.
It's got some
I
notes
guess
there, like if you could
that's
dodge
possible.
a wrench, you can dodge this question.
The text is corrupt at some point. There must be omissions. Perhaps thus goes with close. The notion of anger introduced by Bonwetch and copied by Box and Landsman is totally absent from the passage. Well, maybe there was an answer somewhere in there.
Maybe
And
at some point. But as it stands, God's like, man, I don't like it when people think.
I'll tell you later, is what he said.
Yeah.
Look now at everything.
Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah, and then he's like, look at everything in the picture. It's like he just noted this one thing and then asked you a question about it. And I looked and saw there the creatures that had come into being before me. And I saw, as it were, Adam and Eve, who was with him. And with them, the crafty adversary and Cain.
Ooh.
The crafty adversary.
Well, that is not Azazel.
That's some other guy.
Because he would have said that it's Azazel. So the adversary is...
Well, it might be the same.
It might be.
Let's see.
He's with Cain.
Yeah. Who had been led by the adversary to break the law And I saw the murdered Abel, and the perdition brought on him and given through the lawless one. And I saw there. Okay, so for that section, the Cain and Abel one, I would guess that he's talking about Azazel, because like
he could be talking about Azazel, but in no rendition of the Cain and Abel story that we've looked at so far has anything like that occurred.
Yeah, so this is this lawless one, right? The adversary.
Oh, okay.
tempted
So, yeah, this would be Azazel, because those who intend to do evil things, like Cain, right, are given over to Azazel.
Yeah.
Right. So this adversary is Azazel.
Yeah. So we got that one. And I saw there fornication and those who desired it, and its defilement and their zeal, and the fire of their corruption in the lower depths of the earth.
Damn it. Every single person who desires fornication, they're
Horrible.
handed over to Azazel.
Absolutely disgusting.
God wants nothing to do with them.
Only people who don't like to do it are cool.
Yeah.
Though, you know what? I do want to note that there's no difference in like the afterlife or anything for them. You know, the people who are good with God, right? They're in the Garden of Eden. And then those with Azazel.
Well, this isn't the Garden of Eden anymore, because he
Right.
was told to...
Right. But he showed him an image before of all these tribes and everything in the Garden of Eden on the left side. And then on the right side, there were those with Azazel also in the Garden of Eden. So these people who are all like evil, they also go to the Garden of Eden.
I guess, yeah.
So there's no difference in outcome between the two. It's just that God doesn't like them and Azazel does, and vice versa for the other group.
Have you seen the left side, though? It's terrible over there.
Seems a little bit boring over there on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a whole bunch of people that want sex, fuck them. They suck. So don't fuck them, and don't suck them.
So don't fuck them, thanks.
And don't suck them. And the fire of their corruption in the lower depths of the earth. And I saw their theft and those who hasten after it, and the system of their retribution, the judgment of the great court. I saw their naked men, forehead to forehead, and their shame and the harm they wrought against their friends and their retribution.
So that is a definite homosexuality thing.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And Justin gave you $5 for sucking.
You're welcome for the sucking. I love the sucking. And $5 are going to go to the sucking.
Wow.
So thank you. Very much appreciated.
Lawrence is going to buy a new vacuum cleaner.
I am. I do need a new one. Yeah, it's mine's getting kind of old.
You're the one who doesn't suck.
And I saw their desire. And in her...
How dare anyone desire?
No. This is someone.
Oh.
And I saw their desire. And in her hand was the head of every kind of lawlessness, and her torment and her dispersal, destined to destruction.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so this is kind of like wisdom, right?
This is the opposite of wisdom.
Well, I know, but it's in
so,
the same.
You know how they had
folly.
Yeah, but
They had folly.
In Proverbs they had two women, one of them being wisdom and the other one
Being folly.
Right. So
This is another one, desire.
This is a third one. So I guess these are like L's concubines. Like, there's a good one, there's a bad one, there's a worse one.
When he wants really good sex, he goes to desire.
Yeah.
I would too. Yeah, so that was actually the end of chapter 24. So now we're on to the last chapter, chapter 25. There you go there, Ruben.
Last chapter of the day, because the Apocalypse of Abraham is actually 32 chapters long. So we'll be finishing it next time.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
So, and we'll also have to hold a poll for what we do afterwards. Or maybe we could do whatever came in second place with the other one.
Yeah.
So, here's chapter 25. And I saw there the likeness of the idol of jealousy, like a carpenter's figure, such as my father used to make, and its body was of glittering copper, and before it a man, and he was worshiping it. So there's a man.
Idolatry again.
Yeah, idolatry, and he's worshiping the idol of jealousy.
Yeah. Maybe this is like desire, another thing.
And there was an altar opposite it, and boys being slaughtered on the face of the idol.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here's Moloch.
Oh, fun times. Okay.
Yeah. And I said to him, what is this idol? Or what is the altar? Or who are those being sacrificed? Or who is the sacrificer? Or what is the handsome temple which I see, the art and beauty of your glory that lies beneath your throne?
Wow. Okay. So
that's a very different question. You know,
it's like, if you don't want to answer those questions,
like,
here's another one.
Who killed that guy? What did he kill them with? I wonder
Where
if
did
I'll
you get-
have a sandwich next week.
Where did you get those awesome shoes?
Non sequitur. It's pretty hard.
yeah. None of the manuscripts are quite grammatical here. So that's why there's a run-on sentence.
Okay, that makes sense.
And he said, "Here, Abraham, the temple which you have seen, the altar and the works of art. This is my idea of the priesthood of the name of my glory, where every petition of man will enter and dwell. The ascent of kings and prophets and whatever sacrifice I decree to be made for me among my coming people,
Great.
even of your tribe."
Great.
Of course, he answers that one first.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know. I like that. It's like, you know, to my question, yes, you will have a sandwich next week, God says. Thanks. And then he doesn't answer the other questions about the important things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the body you saw is my anger, because the people who will come to me out of you will make me angry. And the man you saw slaughtering is he who angers me. And the sacrifice is a killing of those who are for me a testimony of the judgment of the completion at the beginning of creation.
So this does seem like it's the old adversary figure, right? The Satan. In this case, it would probably be Azazel, right?
No.
No,
No.
No, you get all the guys.
the guy that's executing, right?
Okay,
Is
so
the object
let
of
me
his hatred.
let me point this out, right? So the altar is the temple, presumably the Jerusalem temple, right? The people being sacrificed are the just, glorious ones who stand up for God accurately, right? And the sacrificer is the ones who come from the lineage of Abraham, right? Because it says here, and the body you saw is my anger, because the people who will come to me out of you will make me angry, and the man you saw slaughtering is he who angers me. So it says directly, because the people who will come out of you will make me angry, and the man you saw slaughtering is he who angers me. So those would be the ones of the lineage of Abraham who are sacrificing improperly at the temple, right? This is like an anti-idolatry thing, much like you would see in the prophets.
Yeah, or anywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And that is the end of chapter 25.
Yeah. So that's what we have for you today. And next week we're gonna be finishing the Apocalypse of Abraham.
Yeah, and we'll give you our final thoughts on the Apocalypse of Abraham at that time. Woo! So, if you enjoyed the stream today, be sure to like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, neighbors, countrymen, fallen angels, people who you hate, people who God hates.
People who hate you.
Yep. You should
Haters
also
who hate hating.
Yeah. You should also check us out on Patreon.
Yeah. You can get video scripts for our long form videos. You can win T-shirts, for example. And I think Chris actually wants to pin one of those shirts.
I love doing this. It's not forced upon me at all. It's not. It's a choice.
He loves
of mine.
it. He
I
loves
love
it
so much. I'm gonna pick some crappy one.
So yeah, he loves it so much that there is a Valentine's Day shirt for everyone.
That's
so
how much he loves it.
I love it so much. Here's a heart.
Pinning that merchandise is Chris's Valentine. Anyway,
What the hell does that mean? That's still depressing. But
you're
what does it mean?
you're in love with pinning the merchandise.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Thanks.
you know,
Get some help.
you can be on the
Right.
show for $50 a month on Patreon.
Yeah, and you can join in on
help
Hangouts
Chris.
as well. So go check out the Patreon. Link is in the description.
Yeah. Also, we have an Amazon wish list full of books.
We
We
do.
can read them. We can read them for you. We can read them to you. We can read about them to you during our scripted videos. We can just read them.
Yeah. Speaking of, I forgot to bring them, but a good amount of books came in for you in the psychology.
Oh, cool.
In the psychology topic.
That'll be useful for me. Not for you, but
No, but
Yeah.
also a bunch of commentaries, bunch of New Testament commentaries came in as well.
Oh, snap.
So I don't know.
That's gonna be good.
I don't know who got what because so we got a whole commentary on Mark. We got
All right.
the 3 parts for Luke, I think. Maybe there might be a 4th, I don't know. And the 3 parts for Matthew. Now, one of them, I think since they came at different times, I'm guessing one of them came in, the first one that we would need, Matthew 1-7. I think that one came from Jason.
Mhm.
And then the rest of them, I think, came from Landon.
Oh,
Very
cool.
well.
Yeah.
Well,
Jason, we haven't
thanks.
seen you in a while. We hope you're doing okay. If you do,
Yeah, wherever he's.
indeed, hear us later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let us know in the comments that you're doing okay, because we haven't seen you in the chat for a while.
Yeah.
Similarly, Barbados buddy
Matthew.
Matthew
Yeah.
Salisbury. Yes, we haven't seen him either.
I hope everyone's doing well.
okay. Good luck with the maybe lockdown wherever you are, because life's still hard.
Survive the plague.
Yes, thank you. Good orders.
Yeah, please.
Paint your doorposts with lamb's blood.
I don't think you should
The
do that.
Bible says that that's totally sanitary.
These are Ruben's words, not mine.
That's what they do in
the Bi-
Exodus.
yeah, but you are suggesting people do that.
I'm not suggesting they kill a lamb. I'm
Oh.
just suggesting that they procure the blood of a lamb.
Yeah, willingly, persuade the
But
lamb.
it has to be alive when when you get it. So.
And given that Jesus is the lamb and wine is the blood of Jesus,
Oh my God.
Throw
you
some
can just
wine.
smash a bottle of wine on your door.
That's
Yeah.
that's good. I like that.
If you're christening a new ship or whatever, just like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you got your way out of that one.
Good luck.
Yeah, so what's the next project? So I'm not going to tell you what book to buy. That feels wrong.
But the next project that Lawrence is working on is
The Suffering Servant,
and
Akhenaten. I mean, we got to do the
did you run out?
No.
We got to
Those are the two
do
big- oh,
the thetan meter thing.
Yeah, Thetan meter.
We gotta do-
Historicity of the Patriarchs.
Yeah, and the alchemy video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which we still have to do safely.
We have
Land's
to figure
not
out
cheap
how
right
we're
now. I am
supposed to
still
do it.
saving for land so that we can do things that aren't here.
And,
mean,
not, and not
otherwise-
die, hopefully.
We would die.
I mean, I could just make a video about alchemy.
Wow.
That wouldn't be as fun.
I think
I think they're expecting.
they're
a little
expecting
effort.
us to. Yeah,
Oh, we have to change something into something. We
we have to
promise.
attempt to.
We promise to attempt to change something into something
And you know
else.
what? I remember
was
reading
what we
Fool's
said.
Gold
We said
can
alchemy.
be purified into real gold, so it might be worth trying.
All right. Well,
That's a real chemical process that's actually obtainable.
But it's not alchemical.
Fuck. Whatever.
Whatever. It has to be transmutation of some material into some other material, right? Which theoretically should actually be pretty easy because there's plenty of ways to do that.
We just got to try to
with
turn
plenty of
something into
materials.
gold. I think that would be.
I mean, just because we try to turn something into gold, we tried to turn this channel into gold.
With that being said,
yeah. With that being said, and now I'm sad.
All right, we will see you on Sunday.
I forget for
We're gonna
what.
be doing Obadiah.
Is Obadiah. There
The
you
whole
go.
book.
Okay, good
Yeah.
point.